Hey you guys, it's MJ. Good morning. I want to talk about one of your guys' emails to me, which is really fantastic. It really got me excited for some reason because it's so much like, so basically it's a question of like what's the difference between like this and that. I've put the question slash comment in the description box below. Um, I'm loving it because this really triggers like just, I guess you could say like how I look at things, how I like to look at things. I'm like, well, wait a minute. If it's like this, how come it can't be like this, right? And I really appreciate it because it sort of sent me down an intuitive exploration that I feel could be quite relevant. So the question is like, well, what's the difference? So this is relevant to share yesterday, or maybe the share the day before. Actually, it was the last share regarding more of your comments around our earthly obligations and taking care of our bodies. And actually, it's totally all connected, right? And so, what's the difference between pollutants in the sky and chemtrails? Pollutants in the sea, plastic waste. Pollutants in the lungs, tar from tobacco. If we don't buy in to the idea of pollutants clogging the sky, think clear blue sky, or don't buy into the pollutants clogging our lungs from tobacco smoke, think purifying white light, can't we also think clear blue water in our oceans, no pollutant plastic waste? What's the difference? For sure, right? So the biggest like kind of drop in that I got was that we are bridging right consciousness and our ability as creators, and our first bridging process is within self. And so our most direct experience with how to work our consciousness, how to become more godlike, how to become more divine, is in our bodies. So working with substance and working with more of our direct experience is how we're amplifying our vibration, right? How we're raising our vibration. This then permeates into the collective consciousness, which then extends to cleaning up the oceans. And I mean, in a way, like you could say for some, they'll just see blue skies, and then weirdly I was like, well, interesting, right? Because I'm staying in a part of Bali where there actually is not a lot of plastic pollution at all. I'm not getting hit by pieces of plastic, and yet last year when I was in Bali and it was such a theme, it just seemed to be everywhere, all over the beaches, all over the da 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 da. Hence, like shapeshift. Yes, and that's part of my process. So whenever I start to get bogged down by the collective issues, right? So the pollutants, the chemtrails, whatever, instead of buying into that, I imagine something else. And so my personal reality, I don't have experience of chemtrails. Truly, I don't see them. I don't buy into them. I don't feel any adverse effect from air pollution or smoke pollution for that matter. I also am in this present moment not seeing any plastic pollution. However, there's that polarity of we're here not wanting to deny the power that we are. And so by me owning the power that I am by working this stuff and using consciousness to keep my body, mind, and beingness vibrant, healthy, and well, regardless of what any collective agreements are around certain types of food or certain types of behavior, we also are having these kind of new collective agreements. So our generation, who are pioneering like new paradigm and new ways of being, are also seeing people creating companies and products and inventions that are actually cleaning up the ocean. So that is through our new collective agreements. So in New Paradigm, we have an awareness that we're conscious creators and an awareness that we're in a co-creative experience. And so there is like a little bit of a a delay, you could say, just a slight delay in our consciousness field within our own body, because that's our real direct experience. Or yeah, that's, yeah, we have our direct experience through our body, and then that is how we expand it out. So again, if you're a powerless victim, you would never, what's the point of even trying, right? And we easily buy in to all of that stuff around how our bodies are affected by this, that, or the other. And you know, as we break free, we endeavor, and that's why we reach out, and that's why we have the internet, because it's bold and it can be frightening, and we, along the way, we need other people to affirm, remind, exemplify that way of being, because this is an intuitive knowing. It's inner, it's not propagated externally, because of the energies at play, because of the divide and conquer energies at play. And so the more dominant old propagated worldview, that was the collective agreement of divide and conquer, of perpetuating darkness, of living in separation, of domination, right? And now, through a reclamation of divine earth, we are moving into our divinity. Now, moving from 3D to 5D and beyond, we are transforming our beingness first, because again, that's our direct experience. We can manifest stuff around us, but I also sometimes see people like manifesting money, but then denying their ability to manifest what's going on in their beingness. So they still buy in to certain collective agreements, which is, I think, part of my unique journey and path, and why there's certain things that I really am radical about when I go against certain collective agreements about what's right and wrong and what's good and bad, is that in essence nothing, everything goes in universal consciousness. Everything is creation in universal consciousness. It's just a deeper and broader light and dark polarity as we move up the vibrational ladder. So as we as beings become more light filled, we can also expose greater darkness, which we just have the light filled container to shine light and hold space for that darkness to evolve, for that darkness to expand, or go on for explorations in that dimension or that frequency, right? So that's what I'm getting about that. I think that's it. I think that's like, yeah, the explanation. So there's a, I guess this is like relevant to like the spiritual work. It's patience. Certainly, I'm somebody who's like, patience is like a theme. And so and patience, not in waiting. It's not about like waiting around. It's more to do with a sense of ease, actually. It's more to do with a sense of peace, ease, contentment, trust, faith. Those are very powerful inner like awarenesses, because again, with faith and trust, nothing outside of you would worry you or have power over you, or if, you know, whatever other people are doing, that's got no power over you, because you're the one creator of your reality. And so yeah, for me, that's a big one when it comes to like when I do see photos of creatures. And this is why personally I'm vegan. You know, for me, seeing the slaughter of animals, the solution was to not eat them. The solution was to not buy into that, right? To not be in that dimension, in that reality. So be the change ultimately. And Alta Love as a brand and a business is like what came through me as somebody who visualizes a new new earth, a new paradigm, a cleaner, more sustainable, happier, healthy human, that's what my inner point of attraction is lined up with. For some, it's not lined up like that for everybody. There's plenty of healthy, happy people who still eat meat. There's plenty of aware people who use plastic still. And they're not necessarily, like, we're not, it's such a head fuck, but we're not all living in the same density. We're not all living in the same world. And for whatever reason, my own journey is part of this, what I'm aware of is bridging and vibrational cleanup crew. And part and parcel of the vibrational cleanup crew is visualizing the physical cleanup of a disparity, of a mess, and again, the mess is simply a physical representation of our collectively denied self, our collectively denied power, right? So the way I'm aware of it is like the only reason we even have this plastic pollution is because we've denied our power. And then similarly, the only reason we have these things like chemtrails is because we're giving our power away to a system that we believe is dark and domineering and corrupted, and instead of owning our power and transforming our shit, we're still perpetuating it. Hence why we're seeing chemtrails and chemical war, like these crazy things where it's like, guys, own your power. Don't feed that. You don't need to feed that story at all. Just like in one's own physical vessel as a divine creator, if cheese is your thing, eat cheese, right? If your own, how you look after your beingness is in alignment with your true self, your authentic self, your divine purpose in relationship to your, I guess, highest potential and co-creative agreement with this collective agreement as an earthly experience. And as energy beings, as soul beings, as spiritual beings, incarnate in form, it's just a really radical experience. It's just, and then again, I'm hearing like, yeah, brand new, this is all brand new. This is all new timelines. This is all, that's why the other day I could feel and sense and hear the break apart of the matrix. It's all just coming undone. We're just stepping into our sovereignty, and or we're awakening and just being like, nah, confusion, because there's no fixed reality anymore, and it is malleable, i.e. in any given moment, if we really choose to believe and see a clean ocean without all the corruption, we won't see those articles anymore. We won't see dirty beaches, and if we do, it will be easy for us to clean it up. It wouldn't be it would just be like, oh, what's this, funny, right? We just clean it up. So I hope that was useful to you, and y'all, I really appreciate your comments and stuff. I'm loving having it to like feed off of your consciousness for my YouTube channel. No, I appreciate that, and I hope that and then I'm getting, there's another chunk here about so when a whale swallows a plastic bag, it's thinking nourishing food, but it's not. Are we really very different? Well, so the part of it is the fact that I like we're this is stuff I don't really bridge into very much, but we're not here to judge the experience of the creatures and the whales. There's clearly a co-creative collective experience with the whales and the dolphins and the cows and the creatures here, and yet so that's part of our compassion as beings, is like these beings are more pure. in my awareness anyway, that's why I'm a vegan. That's why I don't eat animals and stuff, and I haven't done since I was a kid, and connected the dots that like my Mackie D's chicken nuggets were whatever, right? Well, God, what are they really? But so for me, as a compassionate child who couldn't stand animal cruelty, my alignment choice was to not slaughter them for my own eating pleasure, right? So similarly, this is my endeavor with Katie Finch as far as the Zenful Zero Waste course, is being like, guys, we can change how we consume stuff, and that can, if we're seeing like these innocent creatures who they're not responsible for polluting the oceans. It's our human behavior in denial of the totality of who we are and the connectivity of everything that's just wasting stuff. And then look, these kind of more innocent beings here on this planet, so we believe, are ingesting our denial, ingesting our shit, basically, because we're not dealing with it. Hence the evolution of consciousness. I'm one with all. And so my connection is endeavoring our responsibility, which on the physical plane for now anyway, it manifests as, oops, watch the top, malls. It's manifesting as us cleaning up the oceans, right? That's how I'm seeing the new world, where for some, like, and then this is like the wild spectrum of it all. I'm still amazed actually coming to Bali a year later after publishing the Zero Waste course and like seeing surfers and surfer yogi types still just consuming plastic bottles and using straws and having plastic takeaway bags. And I was like, what are you doing? Don't you know? And like, you know, having a chat, and then so for some people it's clearly not even a thing, right? And there again, I'll do the work as you've shared here. I just really do imagine living in paradise, and for the most part that's where I am. And then when stuff hits me, I do the inner work vibrationally, shift the energy or the emotion or whatever comes through, and then channel the high, channel the good vibes, right? So yeah, you guys are amazing, and like I love this ongoing conversation. And just remember, it's like first the vessel. Like, so if we can be transformers from within the vessel of self, then we ultimately cannot be stopped when it comes to the new agreements that we pioneer in the new world together. Because more of us that really embody that sort of miraculous vibration of creatorship, divine creatorship, obviously, which just looks like epic radiance and love, light, like power force, Jedi force. The more we embody that, the more that extends out. And so anything physical first, and then extended out collective, and ultimately with a movement, it's like I've just been in doing inner, and then suddenly Alta Love happens, and then investment comes in, and then book is published, and then book published, investment, team, people, and so it's just been like a slow. It's not been a quick fix thing at all. It's been diligent inner work, and then keep going, keep visioning, and I think that's a lot of this new wave of manifestation teachings or whatever. It's that for some of us it wasn't enough just to manifest for myself. It wasn't that important to me just to be like, manifest 10,000 pounds so that I can have more money. Because my surrender years and years ago was new paradigm for the collective to see a more harmonious world, right? So this whole time it was like, okay, yeah, fine, so great, I manifest more money or whatever. I don't ultimately care about that on my personal trajectory. I'm more interested in actual humans remembering their power to break free from a low level construct here, from a divisive, domineering, just kind of scary construct that, in essence, the way I feel into it, it's like a false grid. And that's always been the intuitive knowing since my awakenings. When veils get lifted, these are the kind of insights that you're aware of. You see them. And so this kind of false grid is breaking apart. Hence, a couple of days ago, the share from Karma Beach, right, where because we're anchoring in the new frequency on this planet, which is just a cosmic collective agreement. Which those of us opening our cosmic heritage, we're like aware of that, and then it all makes a lot more sense once we open up those parts of our awareness. You know, once we open that up. So there you have it, you guys. I hope that was useful to you. Interesting nuggets. Love when you dig this kind of stuff out, because I love it. I love sitting with it. And then I think this is weird, but like this is also part of my like early morning. There's such clarity for me in the morning, and I could feel the, like, for me, just when that kind of thing comes in, I'm like, what is the difference? Like, pardon me. Yeah, and so yeah, I love it, and this is great insight for all of us. Like, let's keep imagining our bodies and minds super high vibration and just imagine ourselves well and present and in love with our bodies and in love with life. And let's imagine that the skies are clear and blue, and let's imagine that our oceans are clean and the creatures are well, and that we don't judge each other, and that we allow one another, you know, to enjoy life. And that might be plant medicine, that might be pharmaceuticals, that might be having a day of fasting, that might be green juices, that might be any number. The thing is, we live in this infinite reality. And part of this whole evolution is really just about our ability to enjoy life in these bodies, and remember that heritage, and kind of reclaim a more divine, i.e. like heaven on earth or paradise or whatever here. This planet has a divine timeline, has a expansive universal code to it, and it's just moving back into that. So this morning, personally, I randomly woke up and was like, you know what, I might not even leave my villa today. I might, but I might not. I'm not sure. So I hope that was useful to you guys. Thanks again for your comments. I absolutely love getting them and then sitting with them and then sharing off of them. So keep them coming, you guys. Have a great day. I love you so much. Have a great day, you guys. Peace out. Bye.